So we're here with Shani, and we're about to do some trivia. You ready, Shani?
I'm ready.
All right. Question 1. What does LLC stand for?
Living Learning Community.
Very good. How many living learning communities are there on campus?
8.
Close, but I would add 5 to that number.
13.
Wow, very cool. You played it off very well. Name a new LLC that opened this past year.
The LGBTQ LLC.
That is correct, and it is called Stonewall Suites.
Okay.
The Bulls Business Community and the Zimmerman Advertising Program LLCs both live in which residence hall? I'll give you a hint, it's on the south side of campus.
Juniper Poplar.
That is correct, it's in Poplar Hall. How many of the 13 LLCs are focused on majors?
8.
Add 1 more.
9.
That is correct. Which LLCs are currently housed in the village?
I know there's Honors LLC. There's the Pre-Health LLC.
Rising
There-
Health, yeah.
There's the LGBTQ.
That is correct. Which is the only LLC that is located in 2 residence halls?
The Nursing LLC.
That is incorrect, it's actually engineering.
Engineering. Okay.
What time do housing tours depart from the central housing office every weekday? A, 12:45, B, 3 o'clock, C, 5 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
That is incorrect, it's actually A, 12:45. Where can students look up their assigned roommates, and mailing address?
On the housing page on Oasis.
I'll give it to you, but it's actually on the housing portal.
Okay.
How many fraternities and sororities currently live in the Greek village?
Okay, so both, I'm gonna say 12.
Add 2.
14.
That is correct. What was the name of USF's first residence hall?
I'm gonna have to pass on that one.
It is now called COSO, but it was previously called.
Alpha.
That is correct. Students living in the SSS LLC live in Beta Hall. What does SSS stand for?
No clue. Student Service something.
Very close.
Ooh, okay.
Student Support Services.
That was close. I'm proud.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What are the names of all the dining halls on campus?
There's Argos, there's the Hub, there's Juniper Poplar Dining. I think those are the.
There's one more.
There's one more.
By the gym.
Champion's Choice.
When was USF's first homecoming?
1960.
Add 4 more years.
1964.
That is correct. Over or under, the USF water tower is 300 feet tall.
I'm gonna say under.
That is correct. It is actually 212 feet. Thanks for playing, Shani. You get a free, pretty cool portion plate.
Thank you.
Go
Go
Bulls.
Bulls.
Jessica Barron, Sierra Rose, Elisa Goldberg, Max Morinelli, Kayla Williams, Matt Satchwell, Burley Gomez, Jennifer Drewbear, Taylor Finke, Stephanie Chalkman, Jeremy Lamberti. Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Coming to you from the beautiful University of South Florida campus in Tampa, it's USF Housing Live!
Good evening, everyone. This is USF Housing Live. I'm your host, Jessica Barron, with Housing and Residential Education at the beautiful University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto, best place to live, best place to work, and best place to learn. Tonight's episode is Learn Where You Live. A reminder to everyone joining us live that we are here to answer your questions so you are ready to live the Bulls life. If you have a question, no matter where or how you're watching, just type it in the comments and we will answer you in real time. Let's go ahead and meet tonight's guests. From the College of Education is the Assistant Director of Recruitment and Retention and the Coordinator of the Education Living Learning Community. Welcome to the show, Dr. Lindsey Williams.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Lindsey. Our first guest on the show this evening is an academic advisor for the College of Engineering and is representing the Engineering Living Learning Community. And it's also her birthday. Welcome, Aisha Williams.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, Aisha. So tell everybody, what is it that you do here at USF?
So I am an academic advisor in the College of Engineering, and I am also the Engineering Live and Learning Community Coordinator.
Aisha, what is the Engineering LLC all about?
So the Engineering LLC, or ELLC as we like to refer to it as, is a on-campus residential program where students get to live and learn together. It's primarily for first-year students, but we do have some spots for returning students who have participated and want to come back, which some of them choose to serve in a leadership role for a peer mentor, where they get to then also contribute to the experience of the incoming students.
Where is the Engineering LLC located and what's it close by to?
The Engineering LLC is located, we have 2 locations, one in Poplar Hall, which is actually kind of very close to the engineering buildings, and then we also have one in Beta Hall, which is more in a centralized location of housing.
What is it that you love the most about the location?
I think that I love that, they're 2 different places, so students get to experience 2 different styles. The one in Poplar is very close to the engineering buildings, which some students have classes there, or if they want to kind of walk over to be advised, is very close. And then Beta is more in the middle of campus, so if students like that feel to kind of be, closer to things, then they get to have that experience as well.
Yeah, it's getting hot, so the less walking, the better, right?
Yes.
Aisha, could you tell me more about the in-hall academic advising and tutoring services that students actually receive?
Yes. So with engineering being, one of the more difficult majors, we know that students need help and support, and we want to be able to be there to help them and ensure them with their success. So we have in-hall tutors for the students who participate in the ELLC. We have tutors in each residence hall. They come in 5 days a week to help the students with the first year courses that they typically will take: the calculus, the chemistries, the physics. And the person who serves as the tutor is someone who is also an engineering student who is a little further along in their career. And then something that we have also did this year with the peer mentors for the incoming students, started in the fall of 2019, we'll have academic peer mentors who will also then be able to provide some of that in-hall tutoring on the weekends for the students as well.
That sounds amazing, because students always, any help that you can get, right?
Yes, definitely any help that they can get. And then also, in addition, for academic advising, I have an office located inside of Poplar Hall where students can come in to meet with me one-on-one, have some academic advising, or if sometimes they just want to kind of pop in and say hi, they can do that as well.
Well, I'm sure you're going to have lots of students come by and say hi now.
Yes.
Aisha, what will a student get out of living in this LLC?
A student would gain a lot of invaluable experiences, things that they probably didn't even realize that they needed. They would get students, sometimes meet their lifelong friends. They are able to build connections with students that they may have not otherwise met. They have opportunities to interact with faculty. They even have a dinner with the dean event where students get to go and kind of meet with the dean and ask him from, his journey to what's your favorite band and things like that. And he looks forward to meeting the students every year. So there is a lot of experiences that they get to gain: friendships, knowledge, being able to take classes with, people that is living in your residence hall, and you get to kind of take some of those classes together to be able to kind of make bonds that way as well.
Aisha, what has been your favorite experience working with this LLC?
My favorite experience would definitely have to be working with the peer mentors. The peer mentors are students who have lived in the ELLC in a previous year, and they enjoyed it so much that they decided that they wanted to come back and be able to give an experience to the incoming students who would live in the ELLC. So I get to work with them to help them put on different programs, events to help build that community within the ELLC. So just kind of watching them from when they were in the ELLC just as regular participants to now kind of stepping up and taking that leadership role and being able to kind of aid in their development and see them grow from the start of the year to the end of the year. It's just been amazing to kind of work with them. And they're quite funny as well.
Aisha, you mentioned some of your favorite things, but what makes this Engineering LLC so special? What do you think makes it so different?
There's so many things. I would say the connections that students make is what makes it special. They all come together being that they share a common interest, which they are pursuing a degree in the College of Engineering, but being that there is multiple disciplines within the College of Engineering, so they get to learn about other branches of engineering. You know, you may have a mechanical engineering student who now is rooming with somebody who's computer engineering, and they kind of get to share and sometimes see how those things come together. And then also just by the various backgrounds and the interests, they kind of get to build connections off of that as well.
Aisha, you definitely made me want to be a part of this LLC. How do students who are interested apply for it?
So for anyone that is interested, and I hope that is the majority and almost all of the students that will be coming here this fall that will be pursuing engineering, you would apply through the housing portal. After you have submitted your general housing application, then you would submit an application to live in one of the Live and Learning communities. And when you apply, you would select engineering.
Awesome. Well, Aisha, thank you so much for being here. And once again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
It's time for us to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We are going to roll 2 videos about the Engineering and Education LLCs. You don't want to miss them. We'll be back with more USF Housing Live right after this.
The name of our LLC is the Education LLC.
Anyone who has an interest in entering the profession of education in any way can participate in the College of Education's LLC.
It is a great way to make friends and get connected to the college and meet faculty, staff, professors, and have a great experience.
If you are very passionate, about a subject and your major and you're certain this is what you want to do, there's a whole floor of people that think the same way.
Living in our LLC, you're surrounded by people who are majoring in the same thing you are, and they're interested in the same thing as you, which is helping others, teaching others, and learning from others.
I knew I was going to be on a floor with people that would think similarly to me and have the same end goals of wanting to be able to become a teacher and educate other people and ultimately help people strive to be the best they can be.
Everything we design is really focused on an academic-based outcome. They have higher GPAs on average, and they pass the teacher certification exams at higher rates than students who are not in the LLC. So they'll benefit in so many ways. So many of them say that their greatest memories and strongest friendships stem back to their time in the LLC.
My favorite thing about living in the LLC is the people I have met. My first year I was in the LLC, the second year I was a mentor, and then my third year I am the RA for the LLC, so all the residents I've met have changed my life.
Go Bulls!
Go Bulls!
Go Bulls!
So I think that any student that's in the engineering major should choose to live in the living learning community because the engineering classes are extremely difficult, as you'll find out soon enough. And it can be frustrating to try and figure out a homework problem late at night, but when you have students right next door that are in your classes that can help you out, it just makes life so much easier and less stressful. Living in the LLC, it's a lot of fun. It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun. Where all everyone wants to do is just talk or hang out or play games.
It's like a summer camp, but you do work, So there's always something going on every evening when you come back. Like we're just watching TV, we're playing Wii, or we're hosting study groups. We're sitting together out in the pod, getting work done.
I think it's more of like a family once the semester gets rolling.
Engineering is so broad that you can have people in chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, so many different people coming in. It's so diverse.
My favorite thing living in the LOC is like coming home because it feels like I'm coming home to a community of people that I really enjoy and like to see every day. They like brighten my day. At the end of it, like if I've had a hard day, I know that I can rely on my friends to be there for me and it feels like a family.
I would say to give the engineering live and learning community a try, that you'd be surprised by the experiences and opportunities that would be presented to you.
Go Bulls!
Go Bulls!
Go Bulls!
Welcome back. This is USF Housing Live. I'm Jessica Barron, and now it's time to chat with Dr. Lindsey Williams from the Education Living Learning community. But first, Aisha, I have a quick question for you. We have a viewer named Glitter who asks, Do grants that you receive, whether federal or a USF grant, go towards any type of housing if the tuition is paid for by a GI Bill?
That is a really great question. Typically, any money that you have left over in excess that will go towards any remaining bills. So if your tuition has been paid, typically that money will then filter to housing and any other balances. But I would just also follow up with the financial aid office, who are the experts and would be able to, give you the best answer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that information, Aisha.
You're welcome.
Let's go ahead and talk with Lindsey Williams. Lindsey, tell us who you are and what it is that you do here at USF.
Well, my name is Lindsey and I work in the College of Education. My primary focus is on that transition from high school to college. So as part of that, I get to work with our living learning community. I get to teach a class for those students and help to advise them on their educational journeys while they're here.
Awesome. Lindsey, what is the Education LLC?
Well, it's quite literally a place where students live and learn together. So we're in Cypress Hall, and it's for any student who's interested in education, or really anyone who maybe is exploring anything related to a helping profession like education. A lot of what we talk about as part of the LLC is the profession of education. So some people are of the belief that a degree in education leads to a career as a classroom teacher, and they put a period at the end of that sentence. But we like to say, yeah, absolutely, but have you thought about higher education or guidance counseling, maybe administration, working in a lot of different careers that are related to helping others, teaching others, and leading others? So if you are thinking about how you might want to explore that as your journey in higher education, you can join our living learning community and we'll help you figure out if it's right for you.
Awesome. It sounds like there's a lot of options that people don't know about, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think that sometimes, and it's like that with any major, really, we don't necessarily know that a career or a profession exists or that we are prepared for that until we meet someone who can say, yeah, absolutely. You're learning how to help others and teach others, and they're learning how people grow and develop. And that looks like a lot of different professions. So we want you to know about what those are.
Lindsey, where is the Education LLC actually located here on campus, and what's it close by to?
So we're in Cypress, which is really exciting. We just moved there this year. So we're just finishing out our first year in Cypress. They're beautiful, large suites. I was actually, I think I gasped when I walked in. I was like, this is how big your residence hall is. It has a great space for community building. Literally this afternoon, we were in there. One of the students said, hey, I think we have a lot of leftover snacks. Does anyone else? And they all said, yeah, we kind of do. Well, let's have this, and they called it a snack fiesta, where everyone brought their leftover snacks, and then we got some subs from Publix, which Cypress is really close to Publix on campus, and we got together and really just enjoyed each other's company, talked a little bit about the rest of the semester and what people's plans are for the summer. But, on my walk there, I stopped at Starbucks, and if I wanted to, I guess I could have gone to exercise or eat or anything. We're really close to a lot of different places on campus. It's kind of in a central location. So it's a beautiful place to live.
Public subs and Starbucks, Lindsey, this
you
is
can't go wrong.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. It's every student's dream right there.
Absolutely.
Lindsey, what do you think a student gets out of being a part of this LLC?
Well, I can tell you that as educators, we create, rubrics for everything. And we can tell you our official answer. When we conceptualized the idea of having an LLC, we thought, okay, we want students to have a successful transition from high school to college. We want them to be academically prepared to enter the College of Education. So taking the right courses, passing the appropriate certification exams, and earning the right grades. And we want them to be knowledgeable about the profession. So what that looks like for them, and helping kind of hone in on what they're already passionate about. So we do all of that. We also, when we look at their academic performance, their grades in comparison to their non-LLC counterparts, their persistence in the college, their retention at USF, all of those things that are really important. I think that every student who starts here probably is thinking, this is where I'm going to stay, right? And we hope that we can help facilitate that. And we really do. We can demonstrate it in the College of Eds overall, but in our LLC especially. So we can tell you that those students in our LLC perform at such high rates. It's really remarkable. But another added benefit that isn't necessarily something that we set out to quantify was the friendships that they make. They often say that deciding to join the LLC, which was one decision in terms of what am I going to study, where am I going to go to school, where am I going to live, deciding to join the LLC is a decision that they say was the single-handedly the most important decision and the decision that they're happiest with, which makes me happy, of course, to hear that. So they don't regret it. So if anyone's on the fence, join. It's a great group.
Awesome. Ladies, we got a viewer named Michelle who asks, is there a tour available online for Popular or any of the housing buildings?
I believe you can. You can go online and see a virtual tour of all of the residence halls on campus, which is a pretty neat way if you're not local to campus to see what it's going to look like.
Awesome. So can you tell me, Lindsey, a little bit about the special events that happen within the LLC? You mentioned a fiesta.
Sure. So that's one example of something that just kind of came to fruition because a student suggested it. And we try to do that. If a student has an idea about something, we will do everything we can to make it happen. Some events we have are kind of signature events. So we have a dinner with the deans where the students get to have pretty close conversations with students, like in the engineering LLC. I think anytime you have an opportunity to join something like an LLC that's going to augment your educational experience, you should absolutely take advantage of that because you're going to get to take part in experiences that most people never would. If there are parents who are watching who pursued higher education, my guess is your experience maybe was similar to mine in that I don't even know that I knew what a dean was, let alone sat next to that person and had dinner and heard about, their career journey and their educational journey or their, pastimes, whatever it might be. So there's that connection that you can get with your faculty members and your administrators, which is a pretty remarkable opportunity as an undergraduate student. We also have a lot of things related to the profession in general. We partner with Junior Achievement, so we get to go out to a local elementary school and teach those students. Which the students think that you are a celebrity. They ask for it. I was with one student one time we co-taught and they asked him for his autograph and one little boy came up with a second piece of paper and said, I want to give your autograph to my sister. Can you sign this? This is so cool. The way that those students respond to educators, they recognize that they are really making a difference in their lives. And so it's a really great thing to be a part of. And although we do focus a lot of our attention on the profession of education and the successful habits that college students should have, they also just really grow strong bonds. And so they decide to do things for team building purposes. Like they said, hey, let's have a time where we get to go out to the beach and have fun. And that was a lot of fun. And like any student, we know that finals week can be really stressful. So we have an event every finals week called Flippin' Over Finals, where those of us in my office go over and make pancakes for them to kind of give them an opportunity to relax, have breakfast, kind of decompress before they go and take finals that can be kind of all-consuming of their, brains at this time of the year. So anything we can do to help support them and lessen any anxiety they may have is what we try to do.
Lindsey, you mentioned how, the educators definitely influence the young children. It's definitely true. I know I've seen the children who do little tours here at USF and they're just waving, Go Bull signs to everybody. And they're just, it's a good way to motivate them and to inspire them to want to seek education themselves. So you guys are definitely doing great things.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Lindsey, what do you think makes the Education LLC so special?
Before we started, I sent a text to Samantha. If you're watching the video, you saw her. She's the RA for the LLC. And I said, hey, Samantha, is there anything that you want me to mention that you think I might totally forget, that you want students who are contemplating living in the LLC to know, to help them make their decision? And she said, well, it's amazing. And it's a family, it's a community. And it truly is. The students who are returning next year as mentors are some of the kindest students that I've met. They're bright, they're driven, they're diverse in their career aspirations and their programs of study within the College of Education. I've been able to meet some of the incoming first-year students at Bulls Unite Day and things like that, and they seem fantastic. And so I think that we have a few spaces left, and we'd love for anyone who's thinking about it to join this group. There's a lot of unknowns when it comes to going to college. What's your professor going to be like? Are you going to like the food in the dining hall? Whatever it might be. And if you can guarantee that you're going to be with a group of people who are really kind and caring and supportive, gosh, I think you would, it's a no-brainer to decide to do that. The students, literally the upper level students who serve as mentors, are meeting literally right now planning their end of the year celebration. So they're taking their time and using their leadership skills that they've gained through their time at USF and as part of the LLC to recognize the students who are just finishing their first year. And I think that that is wonderful. They're doing things that, I mean, it's my job, and they're making my job so much easier, which is pretty great.
And Lindsey, you mentioned the students. Have you heard anything from them about what they love the most about this LLC?
You know, I asked them that, and I asked them that. We had an open house a few weeks ago. So we invited students who are considering coming to USF and studying education to an open house. And we asked not only current students, but graduates and a parent. So Tracy, who's Samantha's mom, Samantha's our RA, she came, and they were talking about how the friendships and the bonds that they've built have transformed their experience at USF, how the people they've met are the people who they imagine being friends with forever. And it's not necessarily because they're good people. They are good people, and that's part of it. But they are inspiring one another to embark on a career that's all about helping others and making a difference in the world. And they're surrounded by people who encourage them in doing that. And it's pretty great. I was talking to Tracy, the mother, after the event, and I said, can you picture your daughter 2 years ago sitting in this room in front of 100 people up front, talking, speaking to them with ease the way that she did? And she said, no, I can't. I said, neither could I. And look at this. Isn't this remarkable? So seeing them grow is just great. And I just think they're a wonderful group of people.
Lindsey, well, I think you definitely inspired students to want to be a part of this LLC. So tell us, how do you apply?
Well, the same way you would apply for any LLC. You go into your housing portal, and you want to make sure that you actually do fill out the LLC. Last year and this year, we actually had students say, oh yeah, I'm part of the LLC. I filled out my housing application and I selected a room in Cyprus. Well, but that's not necessarily the same thing as applying to be part of the LLC. So you want to make sure that you go into your housing portal and fill out the LLC application. And then I'll get that and review it, and then we'll assign you to a space in our LLC.
Great. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Lindsey. It was a pleasure having you.
Thanks.
Now it's time for some special announcements. Are you interested in living in a living learning community? We still have spots in most of our living learning communities, but they won't last forever. Explore your options at usf.edu/LLC to find the community best for you. Do you want to move in early and for free? Consider volunteering for Bull Hall. Bull Hall is a tradition here on campus. Every year, on grand opening day, Bulls volunteer to assist other students with the move-in process. Learn more at usf.edu/housing. Well, that's just about all the time we have. But before we go, I want to remind you that USF Housing Live airs every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us for our next episode, USF is for Families Too, on Wednesday, April 24th. You can watch at facebook.com/USF Housing, the USF Class of 2023 Facebook group, or in full 1080p high definition at youtube.com/USF Housing. USF Housing Live is produced by Housing and Residential Education at the University of South Florida in Tampa. Our motto is best place to live, best place to work, and best place to learn. Thank you to tonight's guests, Aisha Williams and Dr. Lindsey Williams, for joining me this evening. Thank you to our production crew, to you, our viewers, and of course, there's always just one last thing. Go Bulls! Go Bulls! Good night, everyone.